I just want to say SLC Punk changed my life.
Right on. Oh, yeah. Thanks, man. I take full responsibility for that.
I'm just so happy that you're Shaggy after doing him in the movies, voicing him. Oh, you're doing such an amazing job.
Thanks.
Dude, I'm just so happy to meet you finally, man. Like seeing you from the '90s and now Scooby-Doo and stuff. Like I'm trying to keep.
It's a good day for you. It's a big day. It's a big day. I see it.
Yes, it is.
And that's why you're wearing Star-Lord? Is that what that is?
Oh no, it's Hawkeye. But my bow and arrow is at the airport still, so I guess I'll be Star Wars, man.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, Casey Kate's freaking fantastic.
Sure.
I didn't really think that anybody could take that place, but the moment you stepped into the role, you just embraced it completely. And I saw you at a Comic-Con a few years ago where you said that you'd be doing it forever. You know, you would absolutely play Shaggy. Do you still feel that way now that it's been, 10 years?
14, I think.
14?
I think so. I hear you saying my name. Look, for me, it's the single greatest job I've ever had.
Okay.
Look, my career, as much as I love it, ebbs and flows. I don't work that much. I haven't worked since July of last year. And I'm just as fucking surprised as you guys. And I'm not a guy that makes a lot of money. So, to have a job like Scooby-Doo that I can continue to go back to, that I can help feed my kids with, is a pretty amazing experience and opportunity. And I love it on top of it. So having something that I didn't craft in the first place, but now protect for 14 years is a really powerful thing. Yeah. And to be a cultural, Shaggy's a cultural icon.
Absolutely.
So to kind of be associated with something that, there's a long time I had a lot of shame about being Shaggy in those movies, because the movies, I was on an independent path. I was like a young actor, and they didn't necessarily help my street cred as an actor. And so I had a lot of shame about them for a long time. And as I've grown older, I've just learned to respect the franchise and that work and the opportunity I get to continually go back and represent that guy and represent that role and really protect Casey's legacy and continue it on.
I love those movies. James Gunn wrote them too, man.
Yes, he did.
And look at him.
I love them. Still, Monsters Unleashed, I thought was great.
Yeah, it's so funny, and it kind of did not do well in the box office. So, look, to take a two-dimensional character that everyone knows, try to make it a three-dimensional person, do a voice, figure out the walk, talk to a guy that's your best friend and not there.
Yeah.
It was the single most challenging movie I've ever done.
Oh yeah.
And so, it'd been awesome if anyone else saw it as a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
But, it's like you guys and my mom and dad. They're the only ones that are really impressed with that.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So when you're imitating, I'm going to ask you the same question. When you're doing Shaggy, and you have to get into character, you're by yourself,
right.
And you're actually talking to somebody else. What do you do to get you psyched up to be that character and be involved with that person that you're talking to that you're not even looking at?
Now, we are talking Shaggy, but we should probably keep it G-rated.
Yeah.
Getting ready for Shaggy, put you in that mind space.
I get it.
Took a minute. That's okay.
Shaggy.
We call it a joke bomb.
Yeah.
Let's go off.
When I was doing live action, I had like a whole ritual. Like I would, on the way to work, wherever we were going, whether it was the first 10 minutes, last 10 minutes, I'd listen to. I have Casey on a loop doing Shaggy, so I had our editing department edit down, a 30-minute tape of just Shaggyisms that Casey did, taking off the cartoon. So I listened to that, listened to the voice. And then look, when you're an actor and you've been doing it for as long as I have at this point, when you go to work, it's like anything else. Like when it's time to go, you just kind of rise up to the occasion and you just go. There's a commitment level when you're doing a movie like that you're, that, I don't know, it's like playing a sport. Like, that when it's time to go, it's game time and it's happening. Like, you'll put on the costume and you walk around and you start talking to yourself for 5 minutes, and then when it's time to go, the more you commit, the more specific you are with where Scooby is, the more you commit to it, the easier it is for the animation department. And, so it's just a series of, the first 5 days were hard because you have to figure it out. You're always figuring it out. But once you figured it out, I've now done it for so long that I don't even think about it. I mean, I roll up on a Wednesday on the phone. You walk into a booth and all of a sudden you start doing Shaggy.
Can you do Shaggy right now?
No.
No?
He'll
How
do
much are you
it.
going to pay him?
He'll do it. If you were 10 years old, yes.
No, that voice,
My daughter was me.
I would have done it for her in a second.
no, I know how that voice can be strenuous because I love doing the Shaggy imitation, but I heard you got laryngitis and all that stuff, like doing it.
No, I when I first started it, I thought the only way I could do it was to scream myself hoarse. Yeah.
But
So.
I was actually going to ask you, since this is Kiss related with this movie, growing up, and since I never got to ask you this before since the first time, did you ever own any Scooby-Doo or Kiss merchandise, growing up, toys or whatnot?
I mean, I definitely had Kiss albums, like the individual albums. But I may have had like a lunchbox or whatever, but that was not. I don't know. Nothing really comes to mind.
Any Scooby-Doo stuff?
No.
Oh, okay. It's all good.
Not really. I had a football and a
cool.
baseball. Yeah, but not really any merchandise.
I love it makes when you every time you hit it, that'd be funny. They should do that. You like get some. You get like paid 10 cents every time like it makes that sound.
That'd be good.
So what is Shaggy doing in Rock and Roll Mystery? I mean, is he playing the similar part that he usually plays, or is there a little bit more to it this time?
I think that I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
So I don't really know. I'm pretty sure they run for their lives.
All right.
Pretty sure they eat some shit.
All right. Sounds about right. Okay.
And they're huge Kiss fans.
Okay.
Although I don't think they're called Kiss in the movie. Am I crazy?
No, they called him Kiss back in What's New Scooby-Doo back in 2003.
Oh, they did?
Yes, I
Oh,
think
that's
probably
fine.
still Kiss.
They said that Kiss was singing in the movie, but they didn't really call her.
Yeah, I think they're called a different name, actually.
Yeah, he
It'd be
was called
interesting.
something else.
But they have the face makeup and the whole nine
Okay.
yards.
Phantoms of the Mars.
Oh, right, yeah.
What is it?
The live action.
That would be cool, though.
No, it's funny.
But the Kiss guys are great. I mean, they're super bright. They're like lovely to hang out with. I mean, we just met them today. And that's the thing about doing these movies. First of all, we do them all the time. So you're like, what are we doing again? We did a Lego movie, we did a WWE movie. You're always doing 2 or 3 during the course of the year. And then these guys have been great. I mean, they love the franchise. They love being a part of it. And that's what you want. You want people that are excited to be in the world. And Scooby has such a rich history of pulling in these characters and pulling in these guest stars. And, I think they've loved it.
Do you prefer doing the feature length over just 30-minute episodes, or do you have a preference?
I don't have a preference. I mean, to me, the great thing about doing the show is that in general we're all together. We work with Frank Welker and Gray. And, the two of them are such legends, and they're so talented. And then we have, on top of that, there's basically 6 guys in our industry, in the voiceover industry, that do every voice, and 4 women. Mm-hmm. And so they come back all the time. They'll come back as the ghost, they'll come back as the guy, the nerd. They'll do 2 or 3 voices on the show. And then, you'll always get these incredible guest stars. Last year on Mystery Incorporated, we had Vivica Fox and Udo Kier and Lucy Black, and so you have these great, these great voices come in, and it's fun. It's like there's a fellowship, and you're with other actors. In general, unless you're doing a movie or working on a play or TV show, you're autonomous. You're by yourself. You're kind of rolling along with your family and your kids and your life day to day. But when you get a chance to work with other actors, it's part of why you do it. It's part of why most of us got into it. I mean, if you were in the theater world in high school, you develop these friendships, and the best time of your life is in anything. With sports, it's the teammates, it's your friends. And so, the thing about doing the show and going back week after week is you get to see your friends.
Cool. So do you guys record together, or are you individual?
Yes, but not on the movie. On the movie, we'll be individual.
Okay.
Frank and I record a lot, even on the movie, because we riff all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Do you have a
but
preference?
as individual, always
together.
with Frank.
Yeah.
Frank's amazing. Frank's a legend.
Yeah.
Frank's as good as it gets. So he'll do Fred into Scooby, into Fred, into Scooby, all the way through a script. and doesn't miss a beat and has been doing it for 60 years. No, the show came out in 1970, so 68.
I think it's really
Close enough.
68.
Wow.
There you go.
So crazy.
Now, one of the properties you once starred in is now being rebooted.
Right.
Would you ever consider revisiting a role that you played in the past, or even like paying homage as like a cameo at any point?
Sure. I mean, SLC Punk has a sequel coming out. I was supposed to do it, and at the 11th hour, it went south because of however these things go south. I would have loved to have done that. Ended up not working out for reasons out of my control, but it depends. I mean, it really depends. They're doing a live-action not live-action Scooby. They're doing a new animated film of Scooby-Doo that hopefully I'll be involved in. So coming back and doing a feature would be awesome.
Yeah.
But look, if it makes sense, But a lot of times it's like, I'm not really interested in going back on the TV show, the MTV show. It's not like,
I would stay away from that. Totally understand.
You want to look. I think that I've done a lot. Like Hackers' 20th anniversary is like this month or something.
That's crazy.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years.
That's like a movie. Like you love that movie. I don't know what the reboot of that is. I don't think there isn't one. But I don't think any of us are interested. It's kind of like a piece of your childhood. It lives in a great way and where it was and what you did it.
SLC Punk. I mean, you mentioned that. That's a fantastic film. That has a hell of a cult following.
Crazy.
Any chance of SLC 2 Kickstarter fund, something like that?
They did it. I mean, they went and made it.
Oh, I didn't even realize they went
yeah, they did.
Okay.
And they made it. I mean, they just made it. So.
I wanted you in it.
So
I know. I wanted you in it.
So did I.
I know.
We like to say everybody's a geek about something. What are you a geek about?
I play Dungeons and Dragons twice a month.
Cool.
So for me, D&D and role playing, and I just got my kids into it. Play Magic the Gathering. So when you say words like "you're a geek," I'm completely engaged in that. So, I mean,
Everybody's a geek about something.
Nice.
yeah, I don't think there are people out there that are too beautiful to be geeks. I am not one of those guys. Yeah.
You're so beautiful,
I
man.
had a conversation with my wife because she loves shoes. Like, you're a shoe geek, honey.
Right. There you go.
Everybody's a geek about
What are you a geek about?
all of this stuff, man.
Right.
Comic book, music.
I mean, look, I think that's what's great about this weekend. I think that, the way it started is to bring people who are, who are in their own world, disenfranchised. Like, the whole thing about being a nerd was this idea of, it's not cool. And what happened is that there was a celebration of what we are.
Yeah.
And it became, this kind of fucking place to go to find people like you. It's the same thing we were talking about, the fellowship of people like you. And that's the great thing about doing theater and being in movies. Like, you're surrounded by, in general, people that you feel like represent you. And the great thing about Comic-Con is that it was a gathering of people that were like you. Now it's been taken over by this huge marketing kind of Hollywood situation, but it's at the core. When you look around and people cosplay and people are in their booths and they're hawking their wares and they're selling their comic books and you can buy any kind of dice you want. I mean, that's the thing I like about the con is that you're still amongst your people.
Yes.
Thanks a
Well,
lot.
thank you, Matt.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You have a wonderful time at the Comic-Con.
Thanks.
The power to wipe out the human race, and I have to destroy you. Oh, I see you guys are also doing a superhero against superhero movie. Well, 2016 is gonna be the